What does it mean to be the seller, and then you have to pay a good chunk of money on the commission, not only to your agent, the agent who's representing the seller, but also to the buyer's agent, the agent who's representing the buyer, who brings the buyer to submit an offer on your property. And if you're not sure about how everything works, the commission that you pay goes to multiple places. First of all, it has to hit the brokerage. The broker then pays the agent who's working with you, right? Same thing with commission on the buying side. It hits the brokerage first. The broker keeps their portion before they pays the respective portion out to the buyer's agent. So yes, it sounds like you're paying a lot to sell your house, but guess what? Is it worth it? Is it something that you can do on your own? And you have to think about, all the components and the pieces that come into hiring a real estate agent to sell your home. So I want to talk to you about the differences, the distinct differences that I am aware of in hiring a full service brokerage versus either a flat fee or what we call a discount brokerage. Number one, customized services. In the full service side, at least in my experience, in the 19 years that I've been doing this, every client is different. Every client's needs are different. What works for them is different. Their situation, their urgency, their timeline, their goals, and their needs are all different. And based on that, I work with each client uniquely differently. It's customized to what works best for them. Am I communicating with both spouses or both partners at the same time, or am I doing it separately? So a lot of times if I work with couples that are separating or divorcing or have been divorced, it's two completely separate communications that I'm doing. And then I facilitate, my role is to facilitate the two parties who are not necessarily communicating directly. So there's a lot of that, a lot of small but important sensitive details that go into what a full service agent would be able to do, because they can put more time and resource into each client versus if you working with a flat fee or a discount brokerage. First of all, in most cases, how they get compensated, the model is different. A lot of times they're paid by salary, not by commission, because the model is to take on more clients, right? Because it's at a discount service, they're not in a position to be able to afford all the time, the extra customized time to work with each client differently. It's kind of a template that they have to work through. And in many cases, depending on the company, so there are, a few companies out there that are flat fee services or discount services, okay? They're different people that would do different things. So once the seller is, onboarded, the main agent would do the main part, getting the property marketed, and then the transaction would then be transferred to the next person, a service person. So you're not dealing with one person all the way through. Now, again, I can only speak from my experience in how we work. I do have a small team, right? I have my business partner who's also licensed. He and I work together. But the initial relationship is, especially with the seller, if I've been working with the seller, the communication is coming straight from me only. I may be introducing a transaction coordinator who is part of my team into the mix, because that's where all the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed, but they know who's coming into the picture, right? We're part of the team. So any questions about if there's technical issue with the forms and stuff, they may be asking the transaction coordinator, but everything is being generated from me. I'm the point person, and I will always tell my client this, that I'm always gonna be the point person for you. I'll deal with what needs to happen internally. Whereas when you're on the flat fee or discount service side, you may be dealing with different personalities and different people depending on the stage of your transaction, if that makes sense. The other part is the expertise and the experience. What I can tell you is, there are many agents that have been in the industry much longer than me, but I can tell you that 19 years are earned mileage. It's a lot of transactions. It's a lot of, learning from the lessons, right? It's a lot of adapting and tweaking and thinking out of the box, and it comes with experience. There's no other way to do this. And the way I look at what we do, our job as a real estate agent, we're a professional problem solver for our client in real estate. Every day I'm looking, and there are issues. Believe you and me, we get all kinds of issues, but When we have issue, my job is to be able to think clearly and see what the issue is and solve it. So by the time I'm talking to my client, I already came in with 1 or 2 solutions, potential solutions. So I'm not just bringing problem to my client and freak them out and have them try to figure out, what are we gonna do? What are you gonna, like we don't need, we're the technicians. We should be the ones to bring in the wisdom, the years of experience to solve that. When you're working with flat fee and discount service brokerage, this is not always the case. I want to put the disclaimer out there, but a lot of times those are the newer agents, people who just became licensed, so they don't have the experience yet. And that's how they're earning their experience. But when you have issues, so everything is great when you don't have issues, but when you have issues, who would you rather have? An experienced technician or a technician who just became a technician and is trying to figure this out with you? So that's something you got to think about. Next piece is the added services, I call it, the soft stuff, the soft skill, and the added services. So what part of what I do, I am a true believer that a property that looks good sells faster and probably for more money. My job is to get my client the most amount of dollars available in the marketplace, in that market condition, whatever that may be, and the best potential buyer that is available. If we're in a multiple offers, I'm gonna kind of dissect. This is again where the experience comes in. I will dissect and I will make recommendations based on my experience, what I've seen, what worked and what didn't work, what type of loan, who the lender is, and the whole thing. And I will make my recommendations. Again, it's gonna be up to my client what they decide to do, but that comes with experience. Well, the other piece that I do, because I want to make sure that they get the most, my client gets the most net amount of money that is available in the marketplace, I bring in decorative accessories, staging, not furniture. I don't do furniture because Lord knows I don't need to get into the furniture business, but I have, silk plants, silk flowers, candle, the decorative items that most people don't have because how we live and how we market are 2 different things. So I have marketing items that would highlight and showcase some of the homes, especially if they're empty properties. I would kind of come in and dress it up. Well, that's no charge. There is no cost that I pass on to the seller. And you can imagine from the discount or flat fee brokerage side, chances are it's very null that they're gonna have all that stuff because it also costs money, right, for me to store all this stuff and to acquire all this stuff, to have properties. I remember at one point I had, I believe 6 properties sitting on the market at the same time. So I had to go get more stuff, decorative stuff, because I wanted to make sure that every property is treated the same way. That is a great perk of the full service brokerage. I mean, somebody has to pay for it. The seller certainly can pay for those items, but would you, if you're moving and you're packing, would you want to buy more stuff to decorate the house? And if you could get it through your amazing agent who is coming out of pocket to make sure that that happens, would you be happy about that? Bottom line, in a nutshell, you want to make sure, if you're worried about going in and how much money am I going to spend and can I save money, can I cut corners and pay less in commission, you also have to think about what are you gaining on the end result. Are you potentially leaving any money on the table? Are you maximizing all the resources that your agent could bring to the table to maximize the amount of money that you could get? Are you able to leverage issues that you may not even know are coming up that may arise? The agent you hire would have the ability to resolve the issue. Now, I'm not saying that there's an agent for everyone. There's a model for every seller. And if your house is, clean, sparkling, ready to go, and you have all the strategy down, and you feel that you are equipped as a seller and you know what you need to do, and you don't need as much input and advice from your agent, then maybe a discount brokerage is what works for you. But most sellers that I work with, this in a lifetime of a family, on average, they go through maybe 2 to 3 selling and buying homes in a lifetime. So this is not a common language and everyday knowledge kind of thing that most sellers would have to be able to come into the arena of selling their home and actually knowing what to do. So that's an important piece that you got to ask yourself. What is it that you're looking to get out of this whole process? Are you trying to get the most that's available on the marketplace and not having to feel like I should learn more so that I can talk to my agent and give my input to my agent? Or you want to do you want the agent who has the expertise to go, I got it from here. You fixed the house up, you did everything that I asked you to do. By the way, that's what I do too. So I go in and I go room by room and ask my seller to take notes on how we're going to prepare the property aesthetically before we bring in the professional photographer. So it depends. It depends on who you are as a seller in this whole mix. Are you willing to do some of the work to get your house sold? Or would you rather just turn it over to the experts and go, you know what, please sell my house because I got other things I got to worry about? Then full service brokerage may be the choice you want to look for, because at the end of the day, our job is to get you the most money. Remember, we don't get paid until your house is sold, and we're paid by commission. So our incentive is to get you the most amount of dollars. If you think about people who are paid by commission versus salary, who do you think would put in more work and really make sacrifices more of the time? And again, I'm not here to put anybody down. Just think about how things are set up in work environments, even outside of real estate. How would you function if you were paid a salary and maybe some bonus versus if you're getting paid commission because you've done some great work? And final tip, whoever you decide to hire, look at their track record. Look at how, if they have had production, if they have had recent transactions, and you can go to anyone's Zillow account, you know, if they market on Zillow, and it should be something that they should do, because if they're selling your house, your property is going to be on Zillow and Trulia and Realtor.com. So social presence is important as well. What's their most recent transactions? Secondly, look at their reviews. Read the reviews. The reviews are comments by their past clients that the agent cannot write on their own. Read about other people's experiences working with that agent, right? That is something that's undeniable. And then look at the company that they're part of. What's the reputation of the brokerage that they're part of? I know that one of the reasons that I decided to be at Remax Gold is it's the number one brokerage in North America. It's a well-known name, you know, and you can tell just by driving down the street. What sign do you see? What company do you see that are representing most of these sellers or many of these sellers? And there are many great brokerages out there. So, but that's my personal choice. I decided I wanted to be with a franchise, a company that already has built a great reputation before I got there, so that I can plug myself in, bring my, you know, the work and the pride of work, the quality of the work that I do into a company that already is one of the leaders in the industry in terms of their reputation and the quality of their services. Well, there you have it. I hope this has been informative to you, and that is helping you if you're looking to sell, to make a decision on which direction you should go. Okay, full service or flat fee or discount service. You decide. If you enjoy the content, you want to hit subscribe and the bell notification so you don't miss future videos.